Hello, I'm John Schneider with Mass Insight Education and Research, and we are here to learn the student perspective about advanced placement, or AP, education. Mass Insight is a leading advocate for equity in AP education, serving nearly 10,000 AP students and 600 plus faculty annually in Massachusetts high schools. Our guests today are two AP students from one of our partner high schools, Southeastern Regional Vocational Technical High School, and their teacher, Mr. William Pellegrini, who teaches AP Statistics and AP Calculus. And I want to welcome Ben, Chris Ander, and Mr. Pellegrini to our conversation.
Thank you very much for having
Thank
us
you.
here.
Okay. So why don't we start? And I'm going to have Ben kind of introduce himself and where are you from, Ben? What year are you in? What are some of the AP courses that you're taking?
Yeah, absolutely. So, my name is Ben Thomas. I'm from East Bridgewater, Massachusetts, and I've been going to Southeastern for 4 years now. And actually, this year is my first year taking an AP course, and I'm taking the AP Pre-Calculus course taught by Mr. Pellegrino, and he has done an amazing job this year. I've learned so much throughout the course so far, and the amount that we're able to learn not only during class time but on Saturdays as well, where we're given Saturday sessions, is just honestly a gift. And I don't think I would learn as much without those tools and without those things, really. So it really is honestly a great experience taking an AP class for the first time. And I was really worried going into it, but with the way it's been taught, the way it's been organized, it's really just been an amazing introduction to AP.
Great. Thanks, Ben. Chrisander, how about yourself? Why don't you take a moment to introduce yourself?
My name's Chris Ander. I'm also a senior at Southeastern Regional. I'm part of the nurse assisting shop, and last year I took AP English Language and Composition, and this year I'm doing AP Biology, AP Statistics, and AP Calculus. And in terms of Mr. Pellegrino, I really enjoy how he makes learning statistics fun. Before, I wasn't even considering like doing math in like a higher sense, but now I'm like so interested in math that I'm considering like a minor in math or statistics or even a double major in math. So
And Mr. Pellegrino, take a moment to introduce yourself as well.
Yeah, I'm Bill Pellegrino. Like Ben, I'm from East Bridgewater, where we live in the same town. I was fortunate enough when I was in high school to have a really special math teacher who works for Mass Insight by the name of Jamil Siddiqui, and he kind of set me down this path. I didn't tell you that, John, but
You
that's
did
true.
not tell me that, so
In
you're
fact,
one of Jamil's former students that's gone the
yeah,
teaching route.
I'm one of those, and these guys will hear me refer to him as their grand teacher. That's what I say. So he set me down this path, and I'm now in my third year teaching AP Statistics at Southeastern, and it's my first year teaching AP Pre-Calculus because it's brand new. But my seventh year teaching overall. Been very fortunate to have Mass Insight as a resource, because I went from never having had a statistics course to taking, going to the Summer Institute, getting grad credit for that at Bridgewater State, learning from master teachers both there and at the 2-day conferences. To now, I feel that I am an expert in teaching AP statistics. Only Chris Ander can judge me on that if he wants. And same thing for AP Pre-Calculus, attending the APSI and 2-day conferences for that. That's all been very important to me in my career and to my students as well.
Thanks. So Ben and Chris Ander, why don't we start with you? They say AP courses are difficult. They're hard. Do you agree with that? Yes or no?
I agree with it in a sense that AP courses are like sort of a different ballpark. They're not they're like oriented as like a college course, I'd say. So more is expected of you, but at the same time, you're learning more, which I enjoy because I feel like with normal classes, I don't feel like as fulfilled as I do with AP courses. So being able to take AP courses throughout my years of high school really left me with like a greater sense of fulfillment. So if you were to ask, yeah, if you were to ask me if they're more difficult, in a sense, yeah, but at the same time, they're more fulfilling and more rewarding.
Ben, how about you?
Oh, I agree 100% with what Chris Sanders talking about. This year, like I said before, is my first time ever taking an AP class, and I have fallen in love with math. I have fallen in love with it, and I always loved math to begin with, going into geometry and all of the algebra 1 and 2, and jumping into my first AP class. It definitely was a big step, and it was a huge commitment as well. Not only have I learned more, but I've also gained like responsibilities and stuff too that have taught me how to like balance things as well. We're responsible for doing some extra work, and that's a responsibility that we have to keep up on. I mean, we're responsible for all the classwork that we have as well in school, but doing that other work outside of school as well is part of our responsibility. And not only is it just something that gives us more opportunity to learn and do better in school, but it allows you to connect other things with other courses and other classes. I'm taking a physics class this year, and if it was not for AP pre-calculus, I don't think that I would have the connections that I am making in my other classes like physics. And so it's just an amazing thing. And it is harder for sure. The difficulty is there, but like Chris Sanders is saying, the reward is just so fruitful in that I wouldn't trade it for anything else. I've honestly had an amazing time taking the class, and I would recommend it to anyone else.
And Chris Sander, you guys are at a vocational technical high school. And so and I think Ben, you kind of alluded to this a little bit. Um, and Chris Sander, you mentioned that you're in the nursing shop. And can you kind of explain a little bit about what the shop is and how you balance the the shop requirements with this challenging curriculum? So Ben, why don't you start?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I'm in the electrical shop. I forgot to mention that in my introduction, but I am an electrical, and I have been doing that for 4 years now. And with in Southeastern, we have a co-op program, and it's from junior and senior year, where we're actually able to go out and work during our shop weeks. If you have the grades for it, obviously, in the behavior. But having that opportunity has also given us a lot more responsibilities and stuff to take care of. And along with having these AP classes, we are still responsible for keeping up with that work during our shop week. But it's honestly in a different mindset in a way where I'm not really doing it because like, oh, I have to do it. I could have easily not taken AP pre-calculus. I could have just stayed in the honors pre-calculus course. But it's that choice that I made, and it's that feeling of like, I want to do this, and this is for my benefit, and this is for me learning as a student. And when I'm doing so, I still have to work and go to work every single day for co-op, and that starts right at 6 a.m. and I get off at 2:30. And so those work days are long and intensive, but and I have to come home and make sure that I'm balancing things at home and balancing sports and balancing school. But it's that feeling of fulfillment once I'm doing this work that I enjoy. I look forward to it during my work days. I'm like, oh, I have those assignments, but it's not like, oh, I'm dreading it. It's I have something to look forward to, and I'm going to be able to learn something. I'm going to be able to work more on my craft, and I'm probably going to not know some things and have some questions, but that's okay because that proves the things that I don't know, and it allows me to connect to different things and learn more. And so I I do love it. I really do love the extra work, and it is something that I have to balance with shop as well. And that's a whole different aspect that's not at a traditional high school as well. So, but it is very fulfilling.
Chrysander, how about you in terms of balancing your shop with your AP classes?
So so with Southeastern, we do our vocational program like one week, and then the other week is academics. So I feel like the teachers definitely understand how the weeks are structured. So they'll do their best to not try to like merge the academic week into shop week, or merge the shop work into academic week. So they help us out in the sense that they're looking out for us. They know the schedule. But because of the limited class time we have, sometimes our AP teachers have to assign us work over the shop week. So in terms of balancing that, I'm also out on co-op, so I work usually 4 or 5 days a week in a nursing home. So when I am back from that, I usually work the morning shifts. So when I'm back from that, I'll take a little break and then go on my computer, do some homework. And it's not a ridiculous amount of work. It might be like 1 or 2 assignments, but you have to like work a little at it like every day to stay on track. But I don't think the balancing is too extremely difficult, because the teachers definitely understand what you're going through and like your schedule, and they try to make it as easy as possible for you to take these AP courses and manage the shop work and the shop week. So yeah.
So, Mr. Pellegrino, what what are the challenges that AP students are facing in terms of the material, managing time, study skills? What are some common challenges that students like Ben and Chrysander face?
The first thing I would say that's very, very noticeable at our school is that because we have, half of our time on academics and half on shop, we end up with less time for our academic programs than a comprehensive high school has. The result is that we have to cover the same amount of material in a little bit less time. So that requires our students to really step up to the challenge, which in my experience, I found that they've developed those time management skills, as you just heard these two gentlemen talking about. They've developed those time management skills, by balancing academics and shop over 4 years. So it's very, very difficult for them and for us, regardless. Another thing is, again, while these gentlemen have mentioned those time management skills, some students are still struggling to work on those over the years, and there's always the trap. There's always the danger of, all right, academic week is over. It's shop time. I'm not going to think about academics for a little while. So maybe, maybe they'll learn something in their AP class one week, make a mistake by taking a total break from it for a week. Then they'll come back and it's like, oh, I haven't thought about this in many, many days now. And they'll have to kind of do a little reset. So I would say those two things, kind of two sides of the same coin, really, are the biggest challenges for our students. I'd like to think that our staff does a fantastic job doing their best to respect what students are dealing with, and these guys seem to confirm that. But it's a little bit challenging for all of us. Our students tend to rise to the occasion, though.
So, Ben and Chrysander, yesterday was Saturday, and day off, you can relax, you can take it easy. But I understand that you guys had some responsibilities you had to fulfill on Saturday. Chrysander, do you want to tell us what you did Saturday morning?
So yesterday, Saturday morning, I showed up around 8 a.m. for the AP statistics mock exam. And I'm glad I took it, because it allowed me to see more of like what the actual exam was. When I was taking AP English language and composition last year, I also showed up for that mock exam, and it also showed me it also like previewed what was going to be on the exam, I could tell like spots where I was missing, what else I had to learn or go over. And I think it's a really great resource, and I enjoyed being able to take the exam. Even though it was a long 3 hours, I was glad I took it.
So I just want to make sure everybody understands. Saturday morning, you're at the high school at 8 o'clock to take a mock exam, AP exam, for 3 hours to prepare you for the AP exams in May. Now, Ben, you stayed in bed though. You didn't get up, or
No, actually, I was right there with Chris Sander walking in. We got there at the same time and we were walking in together. Although we were taking two separate exams, I was taking the AP pre-calculus exam and Chris was taking AP statistics. Um, like he said, I was so glad that I was there and able to partake in that. I learned so much. A lot of information on that test was stuff that we haven't covered yet, and it gave me a look at things that I'm gonna see later on, but also allowed me to kind of think on my own for a minute. And so even though we didn't cover it in class, all that knowledge that Mr. Pellegrino has taught us, and we've had on AP classroom, those assignments and everything, I could use all my prior knowledge to try to piece together what I'm looking at and try to answer some of the questions and see what I need to learn and what I'm comfortable on. But yes, like Chris Sanders said, I was super super excited to be there, and although it was a long 3 hours, it was so well worth it.
I'm going to ask you now to sell AP to someone who doesn't understand what AP is all about. So, Ben, if you were to try to recruit a student to AP to a course, what would you tell him or her?
Well, the first thing that I would tell them is that you're not enduring all of this kind of pressure on your own. You're not going to be staying up like countless hours throughout the night till like 1, 2, 3 in the morning, just being bombarded with like crazy amounts of work. Like we've already discussed, I mean, we are a vocational school, so we have a lot less time to complete the same amount of content. But our staff and our teachers, they are there for us all the time. There's been times where I am literally at the job site working, and I'll send Mr. Pellegrino a quick email being like, "Oh, um, how was this assignment that I did? Did I do all right on it? What can I work on?" And there's been times I've come straight from work and stayed after before. Um, and so you're not alone when you're doing an AP class. Not only do you have the support of the teachers and staff, but you have the support of your students as well and your peers. I have a group chat with friends where we help each other study and we help each other learn. And I've myself have made videos and things for my peers who are students to help them learn as well. And so the entire process, you're not alone. And it's an amazing achievement to go into this kind of class and learn and come out with a great score on the AP exam. And honestly, no matter how you do on the AP exam, you should be 100% proud of yourself that you took up that challenge and that you went into that and you were like making that commitment, because there's some people that don't do that, and you should be extremely extremely proud of yourself. But yeah, 100%. A lot of people think that they're going to be alone. It's going to be very difficult for them. But that's one thing that I learned wasn't the case at all. And I actually had a lot of support.
Sander, how about yourself? What would you say to a student?
So I would say that if I if I were being completely honest, AP is difficult, AP is challenging, but as I was saying before, AP is rewarding. So you're going to do more work than your peers in maybe basic or honors level courses, but at the same time, you're going to be learning at a higher level than your peers in those courses. You're going to be um exposed to like a breadth of knowledge, like a wider range of knowledge than some of your peers in other courses. And if you're someone who likes that intellectual challenge, or someone who wants to learn more about a certain topic, whether it's like biology or statistics, I would encourage you to take AP, whether it's like sorry, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I would encourage you to take AP. As long as you're up for the challenge, you're gonna get something out of it. You're gonna see yourself in a new light. You're gonna like be a more intellectual and understanding individual, in the sense that AP teaches you a lot, and it's very, very rewarding. You gain a lot from it.
Mr. Pellegrino, if you were to recruit a teacher to teach AP, what would you tell him or her?
Well, it's funny because it's very, very similar to what these guys would say to the students. It's a lot of work. I think teaching the AP courses is the most work I've ever had to do as a teacher. It's way more demanding than a typical course is, because the depth of knowledge we're required to have as AP teachers goes way beyond what is expected of a typical course. I've encountered some teachers in my career who are perfectly fine just staying 1 week ahead of their students in terms of content. But you can't do that for AP. You have to know from beginning to end every single thing. You've got to be a real expert. But that said, it is the most rewarding experience you could possibly imagine as a teacher. I really have nothing to say, nothing I can codify that with beyond like these two gentlemen. Working with them has been one of the greatest pleasures of my career. It's so memorable. You meet these students who are so wonderful, who you just know are going to go on to do the most amazing things with their lives, and you're just so lucky to be a part of it. It just brings me so much joy. So it's a lot of work, but if you can rise to that occasion, you will be rewarded like beyond your wildest professional dreams by doing so.
Let's close with this, and I can really see the synergy among you guys, and it's very empowering, very uplifting. But in terms of your future plans, Chrysander, what are you thinking about in terms of college? If you're thinking about college.
I'm thinking about college. I finished applying around the end of December. I started hearing back for some great places. I don't know if you wanna
It's up to you.
I've gotten likely letters, which are like early letters of admission to Yale University and Harvard College. So I'm extremely grateful, and I really enjoyed or I really appreciate that the AP experiences in my high school, they not only I feel set up for college to the point where even though I'm going to be learning at an Ivy League university, I'm prepared to do my best, and I've established study skills and habits that'll go with me beyond high school. Like I'm excited to continue learning college from just what AP taught me. So yeah, and at Yale, my major is molecular biophysics and biochemistry, and at Harvard it's chemical and physical biology. And yeah, I just can't wait. Can't wait.
Unbelievable. Ben, how about yourself?
Yeah, I don't know if I have something as cool as that, but no, I have applied to a few schools. My top choice was Wentworth Institution of Technology, and my major is computer science. I really love technology, and but we'll see where it takes me. I haven't made any decisions yet, but hopefully I get to pursue my education there. That's the goal.
Well, you guys are just incredibly amazing young adults, and I want to thank you for your time. We're talking on a Sunday night. You've taken time to talk about your experiences. We're very grateful at Mass Insight to have you as part of our effort to make sure that AP has the impact that it certainly has on your lives. And I want to thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you again in the future.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.